Hello, it is Friday, May 17th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Friday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving an end-of-week themeless crossword, first of two themeless puzzles for the week. Might be tricky, a bit punny, misdirecting. Let's find out. This potentially punny and misdirecting edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Laura Sexton, Victoria Rojicka, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the ineffable Josh Bordo. So thank you so much to the four of them. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel, bring us this series week by week. For that, day by day even. For that, I'm very grateful. And thanks so much to those four and everybody who backs the channel at any level. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to join their ranks, you can do so at patreon.com/dailysolve. You'll find there all of the bonus videos available to patrons and for benefactors, the official Let's Check the Crosses mug. And there's also, of course, the Daily Solve Discord chat server you can join. Nice friendly chat community linked in the description field. And it's a big help if you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. So thanks so much if you've done that as well. And now let's get on to today's crossword by Hemant Mehta, who's constructed around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited once again by Joel Faliano, and there won't be a theme. Let's start solving. Jordans, e.g. With that plural, I assume this is referring to shoes, trainers, sneakers. But I'm not... Or maybe... Nikes, maybe? Could be shoes or Nikes, maybe. Letters next to a blurred image, perhaps. Well, if it were Nikes, it could be not safe for work, so material that shouldn't be seen in a, I don't know, professional context, I guess, so it's been blurred out. Let's see if the rest of Nikes works. Domed drink, an icy, it's a kind of blended ice drink. And pleated garment, a kilt, maybe? Let's see if this works. Like some blankets and burritos. Wet blanket, wet burrito. I guess it means wet burrito in the sense of having sauce on top as opposed to just inside. Okay, place for student mixers, ? Science lab, maybe? Maybe you're sort of mixing, I don't know, reagents or something in a laboratory context. And if you became smitten, you fell in love. There we go. This is looking fine. So animal that's catadromous, meaning it lives in fresh water but goes to sea to breed. Eel. That's interesting. I think I knew that. The way that eels reproduce is very fascinating and strange. Anyway, cutting lines. Snide remarks, maybe? So not cutting lines in a physical sense, but issuing cutting lines would be issuing snide remarks of sort of cruel cutting comment. Arm raisers informally. Arm raisers. Helps? People who are helping? I don't think that's right. But I'm not sure I know what the answer is. Thanks, follower. Thanks a lot, you might say. Simply as that. Aspiring mariner. So someone who wants to become a seafarer there. Oh, a naval cadet. No. Naval something. I was thinking cadet, but it's too long. Probably naval something. Let's keep looking. Longest serving Prime Minister of Japan, Abe, right? Well, yeah. Fascinating figure, I suppose, and with a tragic end. CNN political correspondent, Bash. Looks like Dana, probably. Arm raisers info. Oh, right. Okay. It's not people who raise their arms. It's the muscles that would cause your arm to raise, your deltoid muscles. And then, this isn't naval, it's navy, because someone eccentric maybe is a bit dotty, a bit, unconventional. So it's I was on the right track. It's Navy cadet instead of naval cadet. I should have thought of that as a possibility. Bill featuring Ben, right? So Benjamin Franklin would be on a $100 bill, a C note, C for 100, as in Roman numerals. Sounds fun. Something sounds fun. Oh, right. You could say let's. So this being in quotation marks means it's something that's being exclaimed. So it's not as though you're saying that sounds fun, that let's. You're just saying sounds fun as a comment on its own, and you could say let's do it. Tossing and turning, say. No. Capital of Punjab province, Lahore. Let me just double check that because I don't want to assume, I don't want to misremember this. Not sketchy. Maybe that's, I don't know what that is. Bouquet feature. Aroma. The aroma, this scent of a bouquet of flowers. And actually bouquets can also be used in some context to itself mean an aroma or a scent. But I think in this case it means a bouquet of flowers. Sported, if you sported a particular article of clothing, you had it on. And empty the trash is erase? Empty the trash. As in delete a file on a computer? I'm not sure what that's looking for. Tossing and turning, say. Losing sleep? That's it. No. Yeah. Okay, I guess this is erase. Okay, I think that must mean the trash or, the recycle bin, for instance, on a computer. Fade out. To go dim is to fade something out. And if something's not sketchy, it's legit. It's not illicit. Okay. Legitimate. So dessert skipper's explanation, I'm on a diet, you might say, to explain your choice. And 7-piece puzzles are tangrams, right? They fit together. I haven't encountered tangrams in a long time, but I sort of vaguely remember them. They're sort of triangular, I think. They're combinations of triangles, as I recall. Word on either side of after. Day after day is an expression. And northernmost point in the Inner Hebrides. These are islands of Scotland, so the Isle of Skye, the northernmost point in the Inner Hebrides. Okay, prenatal period is trimester. Yeah. Yes, I think that must be right. I was trying to think of a more specific period, but this is just a period is a trimester of the prenatal, pre-birth period. Okay, massive onrush, a tidal wave. That's often used to describe a massive onrush of anything metaphorically. Option for a road trip abbreviation could be a route. And credits, if one credits someone for their contribution, one cites them for their contribution, gives them a citation. And 1873 invention first used in San Francisco, cable car, right? Yes, they created these because San Francisco is so hilly, and they did regrade some of San Francisco to be less hilly, but a lot of it they did not, because the residents of San Francisco felt that was sort of intrinsic part of the city. It was its hilly topography, so they had to create cable cars in order to actually get significant numbers of people and goods up and down up at least these hills, because it was tough for horses. Credential to climb the corporate ladder, an MBA, Master's in Business Administration. It's a master's degree. Awards won by George Strait in 3 separate decades, familiarly. Oh, plural. Oh, country music awards, maybe? I actually don't think I recognize that name, George Strait. I don't really know country music, to be honest with you, beyond just sort of, I think, probably things most people would. But I suspect that's the answer. Okay, contingency. I can't think what this is. I probably should be able to, but I can't at the moment. Food item that's fittingly shaped like a mouse cursor. Do they mean the arrow version of it or the little pointing hand? Food item that's fittingly shaped like a mouse cursor. I have no idea what that's... What does that mean? I don't know, sorry. Stuff. This could be a noun or a verb. I mean, it could be stuff meaning things, or it could be stuff meaning cram something into something. Last thing left in Pandora's box. I think hope was the last thing left after all of the sort of evils escaped. Barely made without. If you kind of eked out a living, you barely made a living. There we go. So what is this? Food item. What is it? Oh, cheese something. Cheese wheel? Fittingly shaped like a mouse curve. No, cheese wedge. Oh, right. I see. Oh, okay. So it is the arrow. It's the arrow. Okay, I was trying to think of a food item that looked like a mouse cursor, including the actual sort of stroke of the arrow that, behind the pointer bit. I don't really think I would say cheese. Why is it shaped like a mouse cursor? I get the clue in the sense that, mice are said to enjoy cheese and, mouse cursor. Um, yeah, I don't know. Let me know how you feel about that one. If you think that you would actually describe a cheese wedge as looking like a mouse cursor. I'm not sure I would. Modern TV attachment. A Roku is a streaming box you can hook up to a TV. And if you did an impression of someone, you aped them. Doctor's orders could be medications. There we go. And doctor being contracted to doc suggests also that the answer should be abbreviated or contracted, as it is here, from medications to meds. So stuff is cram. Okay, so it is. Oh, I think I might even have said cram. Did I? I think I maybe did, but it didn't occur to me to write it in the grid. Hope we had, eked we had. Okay, we had all of those. Long row. Oh, no, it's not rows. It's rows. Long in this case, anyway. Long rows as in long arguments, and the question mark in pun indicator there suggests we shouldn't read this as long rows, which might be how you first read it, long rows of, seating or of people lined up or something, but rather, in this case, rows, arguments, feuds. Contingency is a fallback plan, maybe? That does fit. Let's see if it works with the crosses. Proctor's directive, right? So a proctor would be administering a test, for instance, an exam in school, say, and the proctor could direct those sitting the test to begin. Easy on Me singer 2021, Adele. I have to imagine it is going to be that. And court figure in old slang. Court figure. Cager? Not quite sure. This is probably sports slang or something. I'm not, sort of vaguely have heard that term, but I don't quite get the clue. I'm sure it does make complete sense. I'm just not the person to explain it. Spain's so-called city of saints and stones, Avila. There we go. And keep up to date on the issues would be to renew a magazine. So keep up to date with the issues of that publication of a newspaper or a magazine. Hill's partner in publishing. Right. Oh yeah, I remember this. I think I know this publisher primarily because of textbooks that they published that I remember using in school. McGraw-Hill. So McGraw and Hill presumably were partners in this firm at one point in the past. Cass Elliot and Michelle Phillips in a 1960s group. They were the mamas of the Mamas and the Papas, classic 1960s group. And to get a rise out of someone or something is to bake it. Right, okay, yes. So as in bread or some other form of baked goods, you'll get a rise out of it in the oven as you bake it, if it's yeasted anyway. Comes out on top. I guess some things rise a certain amount, even if they're not yeasted, but I think that's probably what that means. Anyway, comes out on top. Not sure. Comes out on top. There's a pun. It's indicated by the question mark, but I can't quite see what it is. Lovable rascal, a scamp. Prefix in some juice names. Oh, cran. So there's a whole line of cranberry mix, hybrid sort of juices with cranberry and other things like apple and, I don't know, probably orange or something. 3-finger salute to help reboot. Oh, Control-Alt-Delete, which on a PC used to immediately reboot the computer. If you pressed Control-Alt-Delete, it used to just immediately. But now it just brings you to a screen that gives you several options, including reboot. Okay, fine wine word. Cru, so sort of vintage. I don't honestly know exactly what it means to. I understand that cru is something to do with vintage, but I don't know enough about. I'm not enough of a sort of wine person to be able to explain this clue in great detail, but I'm sure it's the answer. I'm very confident about that. Java servers are urns, so an urn in which you might serve coffee, Java. And then comes out on, so, as opposed to thinking this is referring to the island of Java and some sort of server there, I guess is the only point I'm making. Okay, comes out on top. Oh, balds? Right, okay, if you're balding, your hair is coming out on top of your head. I think that's what that's going for. That's a very clever clue. I like that. Outpaces the syllabus, say, reads ahead. So if you outpace a school syllabus, you could be reading ahead of it, ahead of where you are in the schedule at the moment. Helpful word in a cryptogram, often, the. All right, okay, so if you're trying to, I've not really done much decrypting, but I would imagine if you are trying to decrypt a phrase, it would be very helpful to find three-letter words that might be the, because that is going to occur in many sentences. Gets larger visually. I don't know. Sneaking suspicion. I have an idea. I have a sneaking suspicion. I have a hunch. Treasured. If something's treasured, it's dear to you. It's highly valued. And one-time Ford rival, Olds. So Olds, I don't remember. Was it Elihu? I don't remember Olds' first name, but anyway, created Oldsmobile, a brand that I think no longer exists, actually. But anyway, would have been a rival to Henry Ford of Ford Motor Company. Merger agreement, I do, right? So you're agreeing to have a merger in the sense of a wedding, which obviously is being used in a slightly punny way there, hence the question mark pun indicator. And so if something, I see, if something gets larger visually, it nears. If it's nearing to you, it does visually appear to get larger. Fair enough. Hidden treasures on Survivor. I've never seen Survivor, but I do know that it is set on an island, and I wonder if it's something like idols, because I could imagine they're sort of playing up I don't even know how you describe it, but kind of generally sort of mythological or kind of, I don't know. I could just imagine having sort of idols in the style of Indiana Jones or something that you could find in that show. Very clear as a stream. I don't know. Option in the Monty Hall problem. The Monty Hall problem is a famous logic problem involving sort of randomly positioned options behind various doors. It's a very interesting and sort of counterintuitive conclusion that the Monty Hall problem suggests, worth reading up about. It might run in the cold, and I think it's the Monty Hall problem. I think it's named in honor of a presenter of a game show whose name was Monty Hall, and I'm sure many of you know the show and know the person, and I'm only sort of vaguely aware of that element of it. Anyway, it might run in the cold. Don't know. Skee ball target. A hole, right? So skee ball is where you sort of hurl the ball up a ramp and then hope, attempt to get it to fly into a high-scoring hole. Capital city that's home to the Vigeland Sculpture Park. I mean, it must be Oslo. I've never been to Oslo, and I don't know this sculpture park, but this must be the case. To not keep harping on a particular topic would be to drop it. If you're not getting anywhere with something, you may as well drop it. And very clear as a stream. Oh, this is very good. I didn't understand this at all. I was wondering if this iced or something. I was thinking an icy, clear stream, but that didn't really make any sense to me. But no, it means streaming video. So it's very clear. It's in HD. It's a high definition stream. So the image quality is clear. And then it might run in the cold. A nose, if it's very cold, your nose might be running. There we go. Very good. And that's that. Oops. Sorry, that played much more loudly than I expected it to. That sound. Don't know what happened there. Anyway, that was the Friday crossword. And it was, I think, fairly approachable as far as Fridays go. I found this to be on the gentler side, maybe, of the Friday spectrum. Let me know how you felt about that. We did have some nice, clever, punny clues. Merger agreement, I do. That's pretty good. Java servers being Oh, the other thing, I guess maybe this was implied. I didn't even think about this. This could maybe be trying to evoke something about around computer programming. So Java, and then, you know, a server in the sense of networking. Um, yeah, maybe that was part of the misdirection. I'm not sure. Comes out on top, being balds is very good. Very clear as a stream, being in HD is very good. Yeah, lots of good puns in here. Keep up to date on the issues, renew. Yeah, lots of that, but not as tough as sometimes a Friday is, and that's, I mean, that's fine with me. Not bothered by that. Let me know how you fared with this one. If you agree with me that this was a bit more approachable than maybe a typical Friday, or not, because uh, these puzzles are so subject to one's own particular kind of subsection of knowledge. So it's very difficult I find, to have an accurate assumption about how difficult they'll be for people in general. So let me know in the comments or the Discord chat server. Anyway, thanks for watching the Friday puzzle. I'll be back tomorrow for the second of two themeless puzzles for the week. Should be a tougher one. That'll be the Saturday crossword. Join me for that, but until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Friday. Take care.